Alright, check out this photo of a classic London pub taken way back in 1898. Doesn't it just make you want to step right in? Here's a shot of Che Guevara in Pyongyang taken in 1964. Here's a photo from the year 1944 in New York. It shows John Farnsworth completely covered in kisses. Looks like he's surrounded by actresses. What a lucky guy. Wow, check this out. This photo shows just how huge the jaws of a megalodon were compared to a human. This picture was taken way back in 1916. A fantastic shot of the burlesque dancer Miss Sarita taking a stroll with her snake. This photo was taken in the 1940s, a real classic. This incredible photo was taken in Helsinki back in 1927. You can see. Here's a photo of bike sailing in Florida, taken way back in 1903. Alright, check this out. Here we have a pair of Hamblin glasses. These are specifically designed for reading in bed. Pretty neat, huh? This particular pair is from England, and they were made way back in 1936. This photo shows something really cool. It's a shot of Silver Springs underwater, and you can see a fishing hook down there too. This is a photo from the 1900s. It shows someone who's unfortunately missing a finger, and the tissues of the phalanx, or finger bone, are quite swollen. It looks like this is due to the course of a disease. Check out this awesome appliance! It's a combo stove, sink and fridge all rolled into one, and it's from the 1950s. It's a General Electric model, a real classic. They decided to design playing cards that showed what they thought women would be like in the future. Here's how donut sizes have changed over the years, from the 1940s to the 1950s. Here's a photo of Marilyn Monroe visiting injured troops back in 1954. This photo shows the Ford Strikers riot from 1942. Alright, here's a shot of Aldborough Beach in Suffolk back in 1927. It looks like the lights are just coming on. It's Jenny the monkey. She was the ship's pet, and she sailed aboard the British vessel, the HMS Westminster. We don't know exactly when this photo was taken. Here's a fun blast from the past. This photo shows someone roller skating to class at the University of Chicago back in 1930. You just don't see that every day. Here's a picture of playtime from the 1930s. Here's a fascinating look back. This photo shows a Sam mask dance in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, way back in 1925. Here's a cool find. This is a combination television, radio and cocktail set from 1951. Alright, let's take a look at the Twilight Zone from way back in 1964. This is an episode called The Masks. It's young Carrie Fisher, and she's watching her mother Debbie Reynolds perform on stage. This was way back in 1963. This photo shows a couple watching the launch of the Apollo 8 spacecraft back in 1968. Looks like they're pretty excited to see it. Check out this awesome talking robot. It was built way back in the 1930s for the 1936 Texas Centennial Exposition. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a photo of Charlie Chaplin at the age of 27, taken in 1916. Here's a classic. This is Goldilocks and the Three Bears from 1908. Here's a heartwarming scene. We see a father helping his son feed a giraffe at the London Zoo. It's a perfect moment, filled with connection and a little bit of adventure. Here's a shot of a mother and son watching the mushroom cloud from an atomic test in Las Vegas. This was back in 1953. Here's the image of a boy training his pet. It looks like he's working with the animal, maybe teaching it some new tricks. Whatever they're up to, they seem to be having fun together. Here's a lovely shot of a couple roller skating. It was taken in Berlin, Germany, sometime around 1905. Here's a fun one. This photo shows Marilyn Monroe in a potato sack dress, which is actually from 1951. Check out this wild invention. This stroller from the United States way back in 1921 has a built-in radio. Yep, a radio! It even has an antenna and a loudspeaker, all designed to keep the baby quiet. Imagine that. Thus, yes, this photo shows Fidel Castro back in 1957. He's at his mountain base and looks like he's deep in a book. This is a photo showing a pretty sad case. It's an adult in New York back in the 1880s who's lost their nose. The reason? Syphilis. Here's a photo of the winner of the Most Scary Woman in the UK award, way back in 1883. Alright, here's a shot from the Grand Prix in Monaco. This one was taken way back in 1937. I'd rather eat pasta and drink wine than be a size 0. And that was in 1965. Here's a photo from 1913. It shows women marching, fighting for the right to vote. Alright, check this out. This is a chess queen, but not just any queen. It's from Paramount's version of Alice in Wonderland from 1933. Pretty cool, huh? Here's a look at one of the very first head-mounted displays, or HMDs. It was developed way back in 1968 by Evan Sutherland and his team. Here's a photo from a Beatles concert in Wigan. This was way back on October 13th, 1964. Here's a really interesting photo. It's of a Bedouin mother from Saudi Arabia, way back in the year 1948. Here's a look at the inner courtyard of Newgate Prison in London, way back in 1895. Here's a picture of Sophia Loren. Here's a cool old photo. It shows a policeman in San Francisco giving a stern talking to a man. This was during the 1918 influenza pandemic. You can tell it's San Francisco, and it's a snapshot of a time when mask wearing was the law, just like other pandemics we've lived through. Pretty interesting, huh? This photo shows a scene of punishment taken in China way back in the year 1900. Here's a picture of Charlie Chaplin from around 1919. This old photo shows a school teacher in Menominee, Wisconsin, in the year 1905. It looks like he's giving a boy student a whipping right over the desk. Alright, check out this photo of two best friends taken around 1925. Pretty cool, right? Here's a picture of a German factory and they're introducing the double lambretta. This was back in 1953. Okay, here we go. This is an hour drive system dating all the way back to the 1910s. It's an amphibicycle dating back to the 1900s. This photo shows someone learning to ride a bicycle back in 1895. Here's a photo, a selfie actually, taken by the French surrealist artist Yves Tanguy. It was snapped in a photo booth way back around 1928. During the 1940s, here's a photo of people sleeping on London escalators. It's from the Blitz, so they're sheltering down there. This picture takes us back to the 1950s, and it's a classic scene, an American mother feeding her baby. Looks like someone's feeling hungry. Hey everyone, check out these old photos of the cast of the show, Friends. Here's a shot of a Polish policeman from the year 1934. He's decked out in full assault gear. Here's a fantastic shot of Marilyn Monroe during a ballet lesson. This was back in Hollywood in 1949. Here's a photo from around 1908. It shows women factory workers hard at work in a cotton mill in Lancashire, England. Here's a picture from 1922 showing something called leprosy. Here's a shot from way back when of a chimney sweep in London. That's 1931 if you're keeping track. He's got the classic stovepipe hat, the whole look. Here's a photo of a man trying to figure out what this statue is made of. He's carefully touching it, trying to get a sense just by the feel. It's like he's really concentrating, using his hands to learn more. Here's a photo of Miss Idaho Potato from the year 1935. Here's a great shot of a dapper group heading to church. This was taken in Chicago in the 1940s. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at the legendary makeup artist Jack Pierce working his magic. We see him here on the set of The Bride of Frankenstein back in 1935, transforming Boris Karloff into the iconic monster. Here's a photo of some German kids playing with stacks of worthless cash. This was back in 1923. It's a stark reminder of the hyperinflation that hit Germany after the First World War. Here's a pretty interesting photo. It's called The Human Serpent, and it was taken in France during World War I back in 1915. Here's a photo from 1899 showing 3 tough chain makers. Check out this cool shot from 1935. It shows a leapfrog ride at Llandudno Pier. Here's a snapshot from a show called Top Hat No Tails. It was at the Palace Theatre and part of a production called Streamline. You can see Cochrane's young ladies on stage, including Sonia Hulley, Yvonne Robinson and Bubbly Rogers. This photo was taken sometime in the 1930s. Wow, check out this picture. It looks like someone's nose is really swollen and red. It's got some serious pus too. This photo's from 1889. This photo shows a young man named Philip, who was 18 years old at the time, meeting Princess Elizabeth. She was just 13. This happened at the Royal Navy College in Dartmouth, all the way back in 1939. Here's a photo showing a pretty ingenious setup. It's a fake tree, used as an observation post and sniper nest. This was on the front lines, and it was used by the British Army during World War I. Here's a peek at a Sicilian wedding from the 1940s. Alright, this photo takes us back to the 1930s and shows us some Finnish cavalry and training. Alright, let's take a look at Peter Tchaikovsky. Holding on to what you've got. That's a great reminder, isn't it? This photo shows British troops in training, learning how to disable landmines. It looks like it was taken sometime during the 1940s. Here's a look at the all-new baby safety seat circa the 1950s. The Blackwell sisters, famous for their sharp wit and charm, found themselves in hot water, accused of smuggling rare artifacts. This was all happening in New York City, way back in 1896. Check out this awesome parrot costume, pretty cool, huh? Here's a look at two innocent souls from days long ago. This photo shows the very first digital picture ever made. It was taken in 1957 and features a close-up of engineer Russell Kirsch's son, Walden. It really marked a groundbreaking moment in imaging technology. Here's a shot from way back in the day. This photo shows a bank robber firing a gun at the surveillance camera. It's from Cleveland, Ohio, and was taken in 1977.